I'm Carly, this is Evan and Ripley. We have a dream to do America's Great Loop. Yep, we're young, dumb, and more naive than we ought to be, but we're sure a lot of people thought that when we got married at 23. Now we have dreams that are too big to wait until retirement and desires that eat away at us each and every day. Join us as we navigate all the planning and preparation before we set off for the Great Loop. We are live and we're freaking pumped right now.
Yeah, we just finished up our first night and it's been really cool.
Yeah,
I haven't had a full day yet.
You didn't even tell them what we're doing.
Surprise.
We are at the AGLCA Winter Rendezvous.
So official.
Yeah, we're pretty official. And it was a half day today. So we got there, got registered or checked in, and we had 3 sessions today, plus happy hour and dinner. And we are just so hyped right now.
Yeah, it's super cool. We're both looking at each other like, can't believe this is like actually happening right now. We booked it and we were excited to come meet people who have finished the loop, people who are currently doing the loop, people who are planning, and we've already made some cool friends.
Yes.
This one guy walked up and he's like, "Are you the Nietzels? I watch you guys." And I was just really cool because never really had that experience before.
Yeah, it was cool because this channel and what we're documenting is so niche. So the people that know what we're doing are very interested in it, and we here at this conference are just surrounded by the most like-minded people.
Yeah, everyone's super genuine.
Yeah.
They're happy and stoked about life, and they said something today that, you know, every session I'm learning so much, and I'm taking notes. I never knew that, or that's new. I'm glad they told me that because that could have been bad, or, you know, whatever it is. And what they say today, they were like, the Great Loop is the most adventure with little risk.
Yes, high adventure, low risk, which is like, it was so good, and it wasn't even a full day. The 3 sessions that we went to today were, the first one was purchasing a boat, and they talked a little bit about insuring it in there, which was like right where we're at right now. So right off the bat, great stuff.
Yeah, it was Curtis Stokes.
Yes.
His brokerage.
Shout out Curtis Stokes.
It's actually Curtis who spoke. And
yes.
Yep, it was how to buy a boat, how to find one, and really good tidbits about brokerages and insurance. And then the next one we went to was financing.
Again.
How to finance.
Right where we're at.
That was pretty cool to see how, you know, drastic it can really be. It's similar to being a home, but at the same time, there's a lot of nuances about maritime law and maritime attorney specifically, and liens and offshore. Do you put it in a trust or an LLC? And really cool stuff.
Do you finance or do you pay cash? I mean,
benefits of both.
Yeah.
And the last one we went to, which was pretty cool, I thought, was about the lock and dams. And there are hundreds of lock and dams you have to do just to go through the Great Loop.
Let's pause and let's look at our little packet. Okay, back in action. So when he says hundreds, you can go from anywhere through 107 different locks up to 162 locks, depending on which route you decide to take.
Yeah, which rivers you go on.
Yeah, that's a lot of locks.
And a lot of people actually, believe it or not, turn around and go back in different parts. So like you could go through the same lock multiple times.
Right.
That was really exciting. And everybody who's has spoke so far has either been in the industry for, you know, 10, 20 years or has already done the loop. So just a wealth of knowledge, and we're excited to see what day 2 holds. Yeah,
we are pumped. So we will catch you guys back in the morning when we are just as amped as we are now, ready to rock and roll. Good morning. It is day 2 2 of the AGLCA Winter Rendezvous. We were pumped, ready to wake up this morning, had some breakfast, and now the first session begins in about 15 minutes. So we're gonna take you along with and film as much as we can and tell you everything about the rendezvous. Evan's got to show off with his Angler Eddie's shirt today.
It's a bit chilly.
It is
61
chilly.
this morning.
Yeah, it is.
Sleeve on.
It is cold, and we're right on the water, so beautiful morning.
The things I've lost, the wheat from the chaff, the sheep from the goats. This year I am becoming my own home. This year I am becoming my own.
Little update as we are midday. We just finished lunch and it was fabulous. We just had some of the best cookies we've had in a while. We went to, gosh, I'm blanking. What did we do this morning? What was the first session? Anchoring.
Our first session was all about anchoring.
Yep. And the presenter had some amazing photos and graphics that he drew up. So thank you for that. That was really informative.
Really in depth of types of anchors, how to anchor alarms.
Honestly,
he had a weather portion in there about winds and trade winds and
and
pressure and high pressure systems.
Well, what I appreciated was I thought it was going to be about the act, or the act of anchoring and how to do it, which is kind of difficult without being hands-on. But one of the first things that they talked about in the session was just the anchoring gear and what to choose and what's right for your boat. And of course it's subjective to what you have, but I appreciated that
yeah, he went into depth
that.
about the types of anchors, and we'll probably get a 40-foot or lower boat. Yeah. And we need about 40 to 50 feet of chain, the types of chain to get gauges.
The second session that we went to was all about marine electronics, which was incredible. That was something that we both needed, I think.
Yeah, Ben Stein was fabulous. He was a very technical guy, but presented very, very well.
Yeah, which you don't see often.
Don't really cross paths. And so learned a ton about the gear, different radios, AIS, do you need it, do you not need it,
VHF,
the tablets,
radar,
and Aquamaps, and
all of it,
and avionics, what subscriptions,
and he and his family did the loop, and he works in electronics now. And so what I loved from it, what I took away from it, was he said what he will not leave the dock without, what is nice to have but not necessary, and things that are just stupid. Yeah. From his experience.
He's like, yeah, it's very cool, but not needed. So he, did the loop with his family. They live here in Fort Myers, so he was nice enough to give his email, and will be a great resource for us, I think, definitely, as we embark on the journey. So now this afternoon we have a navigation class to sit through. I think that'll be more like actual route planning.
Yeah.
Choosing different directions, how to take advantage of the maps and the overlays that you can use.
How to make decisions, I think, on what you're going to do for the day. But I guess we'll
and
follow
then after
up.
that, we get to go for the
Looper crawl.
Which everybody's stoked for.
Everybody is.
There's about 16 boats, I think, here. I counted.
Yeah.
And we'll get to go on the dock and talk to them.
Check them out. Give us a better feel
so we'll
for what
take
we
you
want.
On for that.
Yep. We'll check back in after our next session.
The afternoon update. We just sat through a navigating class, which was really detailed. Brought up pictures and examples of actually using paper charts as well as navionics and electronics and radar. So now we are off to the looper crawl.
Yeah.
We are walking, and we will update you when we get there.
Till someone comes and tells me it's okay to move, and I'll take another step toward you. Taste like wine. Yeah, you taste like wine. Ooh, taste like wine. I can't find, no, it's fine.
Hey, we just freshened up. We had a great time at the Looper Crawl. Got a good feel for some other size boats that we probably wouldn't have gone to look at ourselves, and some different styles that we probably wouldn't have looked at ourselves, like the Carvers, Silverton, and the Cruiser. Is that one?
Ocean Alexander.
Yeah, so it kind of opened our eyes to a couple other options that maybe we weren't even considering before. And of course, I think the best part was talking to all the boat owners about just little quirks that they've decided work for their boat, or why they do certain things or whatever. So it was just a really great experience to kind of get personal with them and learn about little nuances that come up throughout the loop. So any other thoughts from you?
Yeah, I thought that the Katie Krogan 39 we saw was
He's in love
just
with it.
beautiful. It was a work of art. One stateroom, so not huge if we had friends and family staying, but
Yeah, I thought it was a
really
beautiful
cool
boat, but I said to Evan, I don't think I like it for us. So
we are heading to grab a drink.
it is day 3 of the rendezvous, and we are still just loving it. We started out the day with breakfast, and over breakfast, what did we do?
Over breakfast, we decided on our roundtable discussion. So it was probably one of my favorite parts of the whole week is the roundtables. We divided and conquered, so we got to go to 6 sessions.
So basically, there are 25 maybe roundtable discussions, and they make time for 3 of them. So 3 30-minute sessions. So between the 2 of us, we picked out which ones we wanted to go to and divided and conquered. So the 3 that you went to.
Yeah, I decided to go to a boat maintenance, specifically roundtable. I went to how to work on the Great Loop roundtable. And then the last one I went to was all about weather apps and reading weather for the Great Loop.
Yeah, the 3 that I went to was, the first one was galley tips, how to work better in the kitchen and how you transition from your house to a boat, that kind of thing, galley tips. The second one I went to was all about women on the loop, which was really cool to be around other women, maybe those who are a little apprehensive. Also, where to get your hair done, where to get your nails done, like, how to refill prescriptions, just some of those day-to-day things. And then the third one was doing the loop with your 4-legged friends. So it was all about dogs and how to navigate that. So all really good things that we were needing to learn about.
Yeah, this morning was great. And then we rolled into our next session, which was DIY. Carly and I again divided and conquered. She went to a Bahamas session.
Yeah.
And they were both great. We went into the details of diesel engines, which I feel like I'm pretty mechanically inclined, but when it comes to diesel, I don't have a lot of experience. So learning just the fuel systems, the important pieces of clean fuel and separating the water out of the fuel and any sediments. Then we went into just cooling of the engines, the water pumps and the heat exchangers, things to look out for. And then the last one was oil changes and lubrication. So between those 3 things, definitely felt a lot more comfortable than going in.
Yeah, and the session I went to was all about the Bahamas. So on the Great Loop, they consider the Bahamas a side trip. So the session was all about doing that crossing from Florida to the Bahamas, doing it safely, what you need to know to go into the different country in terms of documentation, that kind of thing, and then what to do when you're there, how to make most of your time, how to maybe try and save money when you can. Just a great session on the Bahamas.
Yeah, and then we went into lunch. And that's where we are now, giving you an update. We just finished our lunch. We got to hear during our lunch time from all the gold loopers, so people who have completed the loop.
Yep.
Some of them are going around a second time or going counterclockwise versus clockwise, and they're just awesome stories.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And they really motivate you and give you, something to look forward to for us in the planning process.
Yeah, we are loving it.
We will give you an update when we are finished for the day over our kind of whole thoughts.
Yeah.
Would you do it or would you not do it again kind of thing.
Exactly. Catch you guys later.